the battle for one of the last spots in state. It's the Peoria Manuel Rams and the Williamsville Bullets, two teams that have been in the top 10 in the Class 2A poll all season, are going to battle it out here for us in Springfield, Illinois. I'm Caden Sexton, alongside me Jonathan Michael. John, we are in store for one of the best games of the year, and I feel comfortable saying that.
Oh, most definitely. These are two teams that I have had my eye on since before the season started. I knew Manuel even going into this season. Back during last summer, I knew Manuel was going to have a phenomenal team this year. And obviously, I saw early on Williamsville ranked highly in a lot of preseason polls. And what do you know, Caden? They meet with a spot for state on the line. Both of these teams very deserving, but again, the Rams are looking to make it back for the first time since 2019, and they have been so impressive in this postseason. And they're going to try and keep it rolling here. Again, they are not your typical Class 2A team, and Williamsville may learn that the hard way tonight. We'll find out.
Well, and it starts with Dietrich Richardson, the 6'7" guard who's already committed to attend Bradley University for Manuel. You know, if he gets going, this could be a long night for Williamsville. But Williamsville, they pride themselves with their defense, John. So if they can lock down Manuel's #1 threat, you could look at locking down and making some other guys miss. But that's what the game basketball is about, is when the other guys in the playoffs need to step up and have their big moments. And Manuel's been able to do that the last couple weeks to get to this point.
Yeah, most definitely. Again, these wins that they have had, they beat Clinton by 16, then they blew out Tremont. Knocked them out of the water, and that was a 27-win Tremont team that they beat 72-36. And then they handled Macomb by 19, a game that wasn't even as close as the scoreboard showed. And also they beat Sherrard, a 30-win squad, by 13 back in the sectional title last Friday. So again, you don't put up those points, play that good defense, with just Dietrich Richardson. This team is so talented top to bottom. Reggie Postlethwaite, it could be Josh Humbles, Amari Breedlove have all had really big games, and this Manuel team is just so deep. And again, I think that is going to definitely come big in the postseason, especially when you get deeper in there and, hey, you're playing your 34th game of the season. Maybe the legs maybe a little tiny bit more tired than they were at the start of the season. But again, Manuel's team likes to run. Williamsville, also a very good squad. They come in 31-3, but they better be ready to run because Manuel is going to try to impose their will and impose their style of basketball here tonight on the Bullets.
Well, and you just heard the Bullets fan base cheering loud. We are kind of close to the Williamsville student section, John, so that our mics are going to pick up Williamsville, but behind us is Peoria Manuel. Both sides showing up. Williamsville just 20 minutes away in purple and white as Manuel has their orange warm-up still on. I can only assume orange or black underneath. But anyways, we need to give Williamsville the props that they deserve, yep. John. 31-3, a 9-0 first place conference season, and this group is 11-2 in away games, 8-0 in neutral site appearances. This is not a group to be taken lightly, and I'll let you touch on them in a second, but I think the one thing that really shines out to me about this group is they have 3 losses. I already said that, right? 2 of their losses are within 3 points, and in those 2 losses, one of them was Auburn. They lost them to begin the season. They played them 2 more times, including their last game, the sectional title, and beat them for that sectional title 49-46.
Yeah, Williamsville has played in one of, again, Manuel's played in the Big 12, which is hands down one of the most difficult conferences in the state. And I would say, again, one of the best conferences in the state. Williamsville has also played in a phenomenal conference. They went 9-0 in the Sangamo, which had them, Auburn, who was state-ranked most of the season, in the top 5. They just, again, beat them for a sectional title. They had some very good squads in Porta and Pleasant Plains. There were 4 or 5 really good squads in that Sangamo Conference, and Williamsville has been battle-tested for sure. Probably the most battle-tested team that Manuel has faced here in the postseason so far. They've had some big wins over teams like, obviously, Tremont, who Manuel beat, Bloomington Central Catholic, El Paso Gridley, Chicago Hope Academy, who's playing in a Class 1A Super Sectional tonight, and they also beat Auburn twice. So again, this Williamsville team, battle-tested. They're going to look to get it done with defense, as Manuel is too tonight. The Bullets only allow 39.2 points per game, so I'm going to see how that matchup is against Manuel's very dynamic offense.
We would like to thank Jody Brown of State Farm Peoria for being able to get you live and free audio coverage tonight. We'll take a quick breather and hear some commercials, and then when we come back, it's Manuel versus Williamsville here in Springfield, Illinois.
We are the NFHS. That stands for the National Federation of State High School Associations. But really, what we stand for, together with the IHSA, are the 333,000 high school sports and performing arts students in Illinois. And so, we stand. We stand for the runners, debate team members, and basketball players. We stand for their coaches, officials, and adjudicators. We stand for the drummers, football players, and actors. We stand for the golfers, singers, and swimmers. We stand as the national leader and advocate for these essential activities and all who participate in them and make them possible. Because it is our purpose to ensure that high school students get to play, perform, and compete together. To learn more about who we are and what we stand for, visit nfhs.org.
High school sports don't just happen. There's a ton of work that goes into every single athletic event.
And we have our school's athletic director to thank for a lot of it. Thank you.
For scheduling officials, so I can always play the game I love.
For ordering quality athletic equipment, so I can stay safe on the field.
For mentoring my coaches, so they can be the best role models for me.
For coordinating transportation, so I can get focused for the big game.
For helping us develop character and learn lessons that will benefit us for the rest of our lives.
Thank you to our AD for always creating a positive experience for us. We'll never forget it.
From all of us at the NIAAA, thank you to every athletic administrator in Illinois for all you do to enrich the lives of your students. It does not go unnoticed. This message presented by the NIAAA, the National Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Are you an enthusiastic sports fan? Want to have fun and get in on the action?
Heck, yes. That'd be awesome.
Have great attention to detail? Want to stay active?
Definitely.
Want to give back to the student athletes in your community?
Obviously, yes.
Then you'd make an excellent high school sports official. We need more officials in Illinois. Because with no high school officials, there are no high school sports. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
A long but beautiful rendition of the national anthem here in Springfield, John. As we get to look at the starting lineups, just kind of talk about this facility a little bit for us.
Yeah, this is my first time to make a Springfield Center. You know, it's kind of a mid-sized arena. Maybe if you've been to Renaissance Coliseum on Bradley's campus, maybe think about the same capacity, a little bit more. 3 levels of seating. Now, a lot of fans seated on the kind of like the floor level, a lot of box seats here. There's actually, again, 3 levels, a mezzanine, then a balcony. Pretty much all the fans, though, here on the floor level. We see Williamsville almost packing the entire lower side on their side, and Manuel bringing a good contingent of fans. Maybe not quite as big, but definitely loyal Rams fans here, here supporting their team, looking for them to get a state berth here down in Springfield. Again, this is our first time here. I overall like this arena and should provide a really good atmosphere for tonight's Elite 8 matchup.
You're correct, John, and you know, this is a place where we don't really know what happens on the regular here, but today, that doesn't matter. We've got super sectional basketball. The winner of this game goes to play 4 states in the Final Four tournament. This is the Elite 8, as March Madness fans would give it to you. Let's go through the starting 5 for each side. For Williamsville, you've got Blake Schaffler, Carson Duran, Braden Saline, Reed Bodine, and Jackson Sanders. Over for Manuel, you've got Reginald Postlethwaite, Dietrich Richardson, Joshua Humbles, Caden Latta, and Amar Breedlove.
Yeah, again, Postlethwaite's the guy that I have my eye on. 6-foot junior guard, just so shifty, and he's just really just your prototypical Manuel basketball player. Again, you never know what his next move is. He's quick, he's fast. He is, I think, going to provide Williamsville a lot of trouble tonight. Alongside Richardson, got to watch though for Williamsville is that number 2 in white, 5'10" senior guard Blake Schaffler, averaging nearly 14 points per game.
And the tip goes to the Rams. Manuel's point guard and Reginald Postlethwaite. You're just talking about him. John gets it up to Richardson. Richardson finds his man in the 3 arc. The Rams trying to find an open look and a tight defense from the Bullets right in front of us.
Yeah, they're coming out in a little bit of man. Again, that's what Manuel's going to want to do when they're on the defensive end as well. How about getting Lotta into the game starting for Manuel, but a layup up and good there from Humbles.
Yeah, Lotta tried to drive. He lost control, but it was Humbles who was kind of there to get the Aaron tip and put the first bucket of the game up for Manuel.
Yeah, Bullets here going left to right. Again, Manuel bringing that tough in-your-face defense. They haven't allowed more than 50 points so far in the postseason. So that is a recipe for some dubs, Caden, especially in March.
A little bit of a mismatch there between what looks like, just because of face-off of size, it was a 6'4" versus about a 5'10", but instead pass out. Now into the corner, 3-ball for Braden, and it is unsuccessful. That was Braden Saling, the 5'11" senior who hit the back of the iron.
Yeah, Saling, another senior guard for Williamsville. Richardson driving into the lane.
And Richardson for 2. I mean, he just walked into the paint. That's why he's the leading scorer with 15 on average a night.
Yeah, again, Williamsville, great team, very talented. They do not have the Bradley commit on their team. So again, they might not have the talent, but again, it's a well-coached team. And again, Richardson is going to be a matchup problem all night long as he's been, especially in the postseason.
Air ball there. That shot was from Carson Duran. However, the Bullets able to get the rebound. Now they're working along the corner, centering it up and trying to run a new look. That one was more of a handoff, John, to Blake Shuffler.
Again, Manuel with their athleticism, able to get in a lot of passing lanes like they do right there.
Stolen by number 22, and Joshua Humbles falls down on the shot. It might be I think it's a foul,
yep.
John.
Yeah, they definitely got him on the way up. Almost a scary situation. Humbles took a bit of an awkward fall. A little bit of a slightly raised court here. He and a basket that's kind of attached to like a post, almost like the NBA, like not attached to the wall, obviously. And Humbles kind of had an awkward fall right there. And but thankfully gets back up.
The fans of Williamsville not happy. They think, especially the coach, think it's a backcourt violation. Instead, Dietrich Richardson gets it from the ref's call on the tip. Nick Beard giving an earful to his closest man in stripes.
And Manuel looking pretty in sync so far on offense. Again, they like to get in transition, but they can run a good couple half-court sets as well. Richardson's going to do most of the ball handling. Again, 6'7". He's almost like a point forward for Manuel.
Well, John, correct me if I'm wrong, and correct me after the basket by Reginald Postleway. He's got 2.
Yeah, Postleway, a nice little spin move there. Kind of bowled his man over. Bullets were hoping for a charge and did not get one there. Early advantage Rams.
Yeah, but as I was saying, John, correct me if I'm wrong, Dietrich Richardson is number 2, number 3 prospect in Illinois?
He is one of the top 5. I know that for a fact. And he has been balling in this postseason. Scored just 10 against Sherrard, but had 24 against Macomb, and just an all-out dominant showing. He was throwing alley-oops, or catching alley-oops off the backboard and throwing them down. So again, might have some more slams in store tonight.
3-ball for Braden Saling. Second 3 attempted by him. Again off the 3, the rebound goes to the Bullets, and it's a jump ball. Arrow can stay down court with the white Bullets.
And, Caden, Williamsville just has not had many good looks so far on offense. They're having to really work hard for any shot that they get. Richardson making it very tough on Saling, Williamsville point guard.
Yeah, it's this matchup of Richardson kind of taking on the ball handler. Now it's a drive, and it's going to be a foul. It was before the shot. The shooter was Carson Duran. I'm not sure who the foul is going to be assessed to. We'll see in a quick moment.
I think it was on Terrence Page, 6'3", senior forward for Manuel. Page is also, again, a really key contributor. This Manuel team, again, so many guards. Page is maybe one of the closer things to a traditional forward, but him and Breedlove and Richardson can all play both guard or forward really on any given night.
Joshua Humbles tipped that ball out, and it rolled away, and it was last touched by Jackson Sanders, so Manuel gets a turnover.
Yeah, and Sanders, one of the tallest players on Williamsville. Again, neither team really has a huge, distinct size advantage over the other. Manuel might be taller at the guard spot, but Williamsville, their tallest players are Sanders at 6'4", and their other starter, Reed Bodine, at 6'3", another senior forward.
A great spin move and a clear open shot by Page. He doesn't get it, but he gets his own rebound. He's kicked it out, and now the Rams are going to slow things back down. Page with another drive. He fell down, and a foul on the shot.
And he tried to put up that shot as he was almost on the ground. He put that shot up. I'm curious to see if they get him. They call that in the act of shooting or on the floor. I think they're going to call it on the floor. And it'll be, I believe, as just the first foul on Williamsville this quarter.
Yeah, it's Carson Duran with the foul, and they don't call it shooting, so Richardson with the inbound. Again, he's 6'7" as a guard. He's kind of the guy you want grabbing that ball, but he's got great passing ability. He pulls up for a mid-range. It rattles off the iron, and the rebound is put back up by Joshua Humbles. And it's timeout already for Williamsville after this quick 8-0 start for the Manuel Rams, and we've got standing fans behind us, John.
Yeah, great start for Manuel, and a key for Williamsville. Every game they say, their head coach Nick Beard says the key to our games is winning the first 4 minutes of each game. They got out to a very hot start against Auburn in that sectional title. They led 12-0 and forced 7 turnovers in that first quarter against the state-ranked Trojan squad. They also led 46-14 at halftime of their sectional semifinal. Now the script has been flipped on them, and it's all Manuel right now on both ends of the floor, and they're really attacking the paint. Very aggressive mindset so far for Manuel.
We want to thank Jody Brown of State Farm Peoria. If you want a quote, you can call her at 309-693-1103 or just email her, find her email once you hit the website link right there. But yeah, you're right, John. It's been all Manuel, and that's not what Williamsville wanted. And now Manuel's going to bring a press, and they throw it out of bounds and force a turnover. It was Reggie Postlethwaite as well as Amari Breedlove, 2 veterans for this Manuel group, who immediately applied press, and the pass just went behind the line to play.
Yeah, and Manuel, if they can have their press go, that's really going to provide a lot of problems for Williamsville. And it's going to be more problems if Terrence Page can keep on hitting shots. He knocks down one. It's 10-zip, Caden.
And a jump ball called. That's going to get another turnover for Manuel. Blake Shuffler was the ball carrier, yet it was Joshua Humbles who just ripped his arm right in the middle and was able to hold on to it and force the jump.
Yeah, you cannot afford to let up on not even a single play when you're playing against Manuel. They are so attentive, in your face all the time.
Humbles for 3, but it rattles out of the iron.
And Williamsville still looking for their first bucket. Here's a transition opportunity, and again, they haven't got many of them so far because Manuel's made most of their shots. It allows them to set up their half-court defense.
3 there. I'm blocked at who it was, but nonetheless, it's a miss, and Manuel gets the board. It rattled around for a little bit, but now the Rams going to regain the offensive possession.
Yeah, that was Shuffler who put up that 3. He's their scoring
Richardson
leader.
Driving, and he gets fouled on the shot.
And again, Williamsville hasn't really even put up many 2s so far. Most of their shots have been contested 3s. Now, it wasn't a bad shot from Shuffler, but Manuel gets the board right back, and Richardson drove in. Nearly was a clean block, but he got some contact, and Richardson knocks down his first.
Dietrich Richardson, as you said, he met a lot of contact once he started to drive, but nonetheless, he put up a good shot as he drains both of his 2 free throws. And now the Rams going to go back to this press that has already forced a couple turnovers.
Yeah, a little bit of a kind of a diamond-looking press. Always one of the toughest ones to break. A deep 3 was no good there from Garrett Tim.
Yeah, the junior, he's getting 5 points a night. His 3 was a little deep, and now the the Bullets going to put their arms in, and they got it out of the hands of Reggie Postlethwaite, but the Rams regain possession.
And Manuel again, 12-0 advantage. When they have these half-court sets, and they get no need to rush it. Just work for a good possession, get high-quality shots like that one right there. And Richardson got fouled.
Yeah, Richardson, he got control, or he got a pass in the paint. He put a shot up, and the fans of Williamsville, student section is shooting right here. The Rams are shooting right in front of the opposing student section. And I must say the Williamsville student section is more than triple the number of Rams. And they've been making their noise, but a foul call and 2 for Richardson. He makes his first.
Yeah, whiteout theme for the Williamsville students. I'd say maybe about, a little over 100 fans for Williamsville. Manuel's brought some fans too as well. He got a nice little section over there filled up, about a couple dozen. And Again, back to the game, though. Again, Richardson knocking down both free throws. The offense has been impressive for Manuel, but again, we are 6 minutes in. The Bullets have not even scored a point, and they're struggling to get it across half court here against this press.
They break the press in the paint. Down low, it's Reed Bodine, and it's a foul. So 2 shots for Bodine. See who that foul gets called on.
Regardless, that's what you need if you're Williamsville. Again, you're looking to get the lid off the basket. The best place to do it is the free throw line. And they haven't really gotten the ball inside too often. Richardson and Page have been using their length so far. Bodine had a nice little shot fake to get them up in the air.
And the first one is missed, so we're still looking for the first basket of the day for Williamsville. But it was the foul on Breedlove, his first for Manuel. 2 fouls apiece for each side here in the first frame, but it's been all Manuel. Other than that, in the second miss there for Bodine. And now the Manuel Rams quick on offense, but they see they're out-defended. And on the dribble, it's stolen by Carson Duran.
What a play from Postaway. Snatched it away from behind after turning it over himself.
I mean, that's what you call makeup plays right there. All right, Coach, sorry for that turnover. I'll just go steal it back in transition.
Yeah, what a play. Yeah, Manuel's defense has been top-notch so far.
Richardson, no-look pass, but an errant shot by Breedlove, and the Bullets get fouled off the rebound.
And Page and Breedlove talking to each other there saying, hey, we don't need to both be on the same ball handler because obviously I think it was Shuffler for Williamsville trying to kind of split the two of them. And then Page and Breedlove kind of collided there and fouled Shuffler. So, again, good intense defense for Manuel and another maybe stop or two. And we could be looking at a scoreless first quarter for Williamsville, Kaden. We saw what that did to Washington girls back at state. It is really hard to come back from when you don't put up any points on the board in the first quarter at all.
That pass for the Bullets went behind in the guy they were intending, and it's a pull-up two for Reggie Postlethwaite. His second, I was about to say, John, Breedlove got his second foul, so he went to the bench and is sitting for the rest of this first frame. But that doesn't seem to be slowing down Manuel by any means as they got a quick 2 off the turnover.
No, not at all. As Williamsville driving, they get fouled on the baseline. But a nice little shot there from Postlethwaite, right around the elbow, about 17 feet or so away. I mean, just absolutely just rose up and drained it. So this Manuel team is they're just not faced right now. I mean, they just look so comfortable out there on the floor. Williamsville looks quite the opposite right now. And again, we talked about them facing a good schedule. They have not faced the Manuel Rams though, and that is by far kind of the elephant of the room of all the teams in Class 2A this season.
It's a driving Bullets. It was Braden Saline, but he tried to pass it in the paint, and instead, the Rams score transition bucket. That's Jaquan Brown. He chest checked in, and he chest scored 2. Rams up 18-0 with 18 seconds left in the first 8 minutes.
Yeah, unbelievable, really, for Manuel right now. Brown got outran in transition, and again, you cannot afford to have a steal or turnover against this Rams team because they are just going to chuck it right up the floor, and someone is going to be ready for that outlet pass.
Saline's shot did not hit anything. It was in the corner and it looped over the net. And on the rebound, Bodine knocked it out of bounds, but they call Manuel last touch. So we got 5.7 on the clock, and it's an inbound for Williamsville. And no-look pass there. Richardson had a no-look pass, but the shot was off. I was unable to call that earlier. Deep 3 there, and it hits nothing for Carson Duran. So It'll be an 18-0 first quarter here in Springfield, John.
Unbelievable. I mean, Williamsville fans are trying to get up on their feet and get their team motivated, but I mean, this is just all Rams right now, and I think this is what I think some people may have expected Manuel to just be dominant in the postseason because again, they face almost all Class 3A and 4A teams all season long. They played 2 Class 2A teams all season, and they beat one of them, West Hancock, nearly state ranked, beat them by double digits, and they also beat Pure Notre Dame pretty handily as well. So again, you have got to be absolutely on your game if you're a 2A team and hoping to beat Manuel because they do not really hardly ever play or even lose to 2A teams all season. What an impressive first quarter.
John, the student section is nearly all standing, but 4 kids right now. I'm sorry, nearly all sitting except for 4 kids who are standing right now. However, the fans in purple and gold across the way, as you said, cheering at the buzzer and are continuing to cheer and try and motivate Manuel fans. I mean, they're just taking a breather after watching 8 minutes of dominant basketball. We'd like to thank Jody Brown once more and many times throughout the night for helping sponsor tonight's game. Go to Jody Brown, State Farm Peoria. She was able to provide us with a free audio show today, and she might be able to help you with an estimate if you call her now. As we're about to get an inbound here in the second quarter, John, one quick note is Peoria Manuel in the Class 2A was ranked number 8. Williamsville ranked number 7. You think that had anything to do with this hot start and kind of prove-it basketball Manuel's gone out and played?
You definitely. Well, you look at Manuel's record, right? 21-12 coming into this one, and on paper, for people that you just look at it and say, hey, what's so special about this Manuel team? They're 21-12. They have double-digit losses.
It's stolen there, but instead regained by the Bullets.
But, again, it's just the strength of schedule, the type of basketball they play. As another 3 balls missed there for Williamsville, but they get an offensive board. But, again, I knew because I saw this Manuel team all season that they were no doubt a top 5 team, if not a top 3 team, and, if not number 1, really, for Class 2A the entire season. So, again, they're really showing.
Another no-look pass for Richardson, and he feeds Terrence Page his second bucket of the afternoon or the evening.
And again, tough breaks for Williamsville. They had a couple shots just rolled off the rim. Manuel goes right up the floor. Page is running. Richardson, a nice pass. He's had a couple of those in transition.
Another 3 for Sailing. He's off the mark once more. Williamsville wants the 3 ball, but haven't been able to drop one.
They've got to start getting it into the paint because the 3s are just not falling for this team. Again, if nothing else, it's get in, get some, get a guy up in the air, draw a foul, but for the time being, you have got to stop risking the 3s and just get something on the board. Once you see one go in, then you can maybe start to establish some rhythm and maybe the shooting becomes contagious. But you've got to just get a nice high percentage look on the board right now if you're Williamsville.
When you talk, John, about being possibly top 4, there's no argument anymore if they win this game. They are top 4 in state.
Oh, 100%. I mean, this Manuel team is, again, it is
ripped out of the hands there. That was Reed Bodine. And now Bullets in transition, but it gets picked off. This Manuel team, if they get it stolen from, they're going to steal it again, but it was lost in the transition and a foul on the shot by Richardson. It'll be 2 for Garrett Tim.
Yeah, that was good hands there from Tony Bradford off the bench. Again, we've already seen about 8 or 9 players from Manuel already see the floor. It speaks to the depth of this team. And Bradford, really intriguing guard, 6'3", a junior for Manuel. So again, not a completely finished product yet, but already very talented. As missed free throw there from Tim. He's a 66% free throw shooter, but again, Williamsville is 0 for 3 from the line, and I'd say maybe about 0 for 10 I'd estimate from the field right now.
I mean, yeah, they haven't hit anything, and we'll see about this, but if they miss it, no, they make it. All right, so they got their first point of the day on the charity stripe. Until that shot, we know for a fact they were 0 for 3 from free throws.
Yeah, and you have to make your free throws in the postseason. If you tune in any of our previous broadcasts this postseason, you know it. You know how it affects the game. So again, gotta knock those down later. And now the Williamsville students getting into it now that they're on the board.
I mean, a single point just rejuvenized an entire 100-plus person student section.
Again, still work to do though.
Great passing by the Rams and a shot for Reggie Postway, and it's good. He's got his 6th point as he just leaped up, had nobody because of that leap guarding him, and was able to just hook that in for 2.
Yeah, these are just 2 very different looking teams. Obviously, Manuel just really showing off their athleticism, just Postway galloping into the lane, getting off a nice shot.
Richardson guarding in the paint. He gets the block and then has to fight his teammate for a rebound. He had it wrapped, and it was Terrence Page trying to rip it from him. And that pass was by Postaway, but it got tipped out of the air by Blake Shuffler. Shuffler in transition gets met by 2 Rams. He passes it cross court. 3 for Duran, and it falls! Carson Duran, he gets his first point of the afternoon. The first point from the field for Williamsville comes with 5:08 on the clock.
Again, still an 18-point deficit here. Again, Manuel is just working the ball out well, getting in the paint, and Page puts it off the glass and in. That's 3 Rams now with 6 points. The balance is what's so just astounding about this Manuel team. And again, it's not just these 3 guys. They can have they have about 8 or 9 guys that can be in double figures any given night.
Well, and that's what makes this team special is they have the depth. It's another 3 for Duran. That one was a lot more contested. He took it anyways, and it's rebounded by the Rams. Dietrich Richardson surveys the floor. He finds his man. It's Tony Bradford. Rattles around, but it's rebounded by the Bullets off the miss. So,
yeah, Bradford shot that right in front of us. It was kind of a tough look, but he got a good line on it. Just not quite the shooter's roll there off the rim. Bounced straight up in the air and just off there to the left.
the Bullets got their first point from the field, and Manuel immediately answered, and that's what they did on all the steals. If they got it stolen from them, they answered by trying to go pick a pocket for themselves in the paint. As Salin, his shot a little off, and it's rebounded by Bradford.
Yeah, Salin trying to get a little runner there, one-handed on the left side, and just bounced off the rim. It's been the story of the game for Williamsville. Not the worst looks, but nothing going down right now.
Richardson, another no-look pass,
and
it gets to Page, and his shot, he shoved it right into the corner where the glass meets the iron, and it just went right back down.
But it was great ball movement, though. Richardson found a cutting Taj Tolliver right at the free throw line, then Tolliver found a cutting Page.
And that's a great look by Carson Duran, and it's going to his own coach, Nick Beard's going to call a timeout to just talk things over, calm him down, get a breather. But, Duran, he was able to get under the basket, find out that he had nobody coming for him for a couple seconds, and he put one up and it went in.
Yeah, a little bit better flow to the offense here for Williamsville, getting in the paint more. Again, they got that three from Duran, who's a 36% three-point shooter, so that's a good start for them. But again, Manuel, it just doesn't even look like they're breaking a sweat right now, hardly at all. They're finding open guys. The passing has been crisp. There's always been an open cutter, so whatever Marvin Jordan drew up, it's just been absolutely no match so far for these Williamsville Bullets. And again, Rams still cruising, but again, you can't afford to let off the gas too, because again, this is March Madness. We have seen crazier things, and we still have 2.5 quarters of basketball left to play.
An upset runs in this game can either end you or it can save you. And right now, it can easily save you if you're Williamsville. But they need to create a run. They need to stop letting get a stop or two on these Rams, which they have been unsuccessful for in the first quarter and a half, as the Rams continue to just pass it around under the legs to Richardson, and a basket's good for another 2 for Richardson. That time they just passed it like no tomorrow and then threw it under the legs of a Bullet defender to get Richardson the look.
Yeah, a lot of it's been going through the high post for Manuel. They're finding a hole there in the high post, and then you're very dangerous in that position. You can really go anywhere. You can drive in, you can pass, and they get the ball in the high post. They pass it to a cutter, where they just take it right in, and they've been getting some very high percentage looks so far.
Williamsville tried to drive a couple times, but the length of this Rams team stopped them, and it's a 3 for Blake Scheffler. As I was saying that, they decided, driving isn't working. Caden's got it right. Let's go for 3.
Yeah, Scheffler getting his first points there, 34% from deep, as the Rams, rare miscue there, they turn it over. But again, after that 20-0 start, the Bullets have outscored the Rams 9-6. So definitely some life for this Williamsville team, and Manuel just got to keep on playing their game. And remember, Breedlove is on the bench with 2 fouls, as I think Brown and Lotta are back in for Manuel.
Yeah, Lotta was he got a pass there that could have been lobbed and put up, but it was a little bit off the mark, and it just went out of bounds to force this turnover. Now it's Scheffler. He just made a 3. He drove into the paint, but it might have been tipped on the way nonetheless. Doesn't hit anything but glass. Goes down. Rams ball. It was a quick postal wait, but instead he slowed things down. Now he's got it again into the paint. It was off the hands of Humbles, but a basket good for Jaquan Brown, his second point of the evening.
Second basket of the evening, but yeah, that was a good look there. And again, Richardson was calling for the ball, was wide open around the arc, and I think if Humbles would have seen it, Richardson would have had a wide open 3, which probably would have had a good chance of draining. But again, ball movement for Manuel right now.
Richardson wasn't looking, but the ball went his way. He saw it out of the corner of his eye, and he tipped it out of bounds, so it stops the possession for the Bullets, and now the Rams able to recollect their defense. That time Richardson poked it. Now he has it. He goes up, and ref calls a foul, and I don't think this is going to go for a shot, John.
No, I think they're going to get it on the floor. Richardson was, for a moment, felt like he had a breakaway opportunity. Maybe was throwing down in transition, but got fouled from behind and went up for a layup. So, and that is going to be just the first foul of this second quarter for Williamsville. It's been a pretty clean game on both sides so far, as Manuel leads at 28-9.
So great passing for the Rams as Richardson's met by 3, and he gets called. John, it's going to be a transition for the Rams.
Yeah, they called for a double dribble there. I think he put his hand on the ball as it was on the ground. Had the ball kind of stripped out from him as Jaquan Brown emphatically slapping the floor on defense. You may have even heard that from our floor mic, but man, that just really it shows the intensity of this Manuel team, especially on defense. They take it so seriously, and Brown is just all over
playing
Saley.
this tight man and force a turnover.
It was 4-on-1.
Who's going to score is the real question.
Yeah.
Shot up by Humbles. He
two.
misses. Richardson gets the rebound. Back to Humbles. Another opportunity off the rebound for Jaquan Brown. A third chance effort gets Brown his 6th point.
Usually you're not going to be upset when you have a 4-on-1. That time it worked against Manuel because they were like, well, who's going to get this pass? Because it was kind of all 3 of them running down the floor.
Right, again, 4-on-1. It's going to be a transition for the Rams off that rebound. But, 4-on-1, Dietrich Richardson saw his 3 teammates, said, all right, why don't you figure it out? And there's 3 hands that went for that basketball.
And again, they all stayed down there by the basket. Again, Williamsville got caught up. They got to contest the shot, but Jaquan Brown was there for the offensive putback, and he has been playing some phenomenal minutes here down the last few stretches.
The Rams are going to wait for the last shot. 14 on the clock. Richardson and Postal Wade have just been passing it back and forth. As Postal Wade now starts to drive. He gets into the paint. He passes down low, and Jaquan Brown gets another basket. That's 8 for number 14. As the buzzer sounds, we will go into halftime 32-9. It's been mainly all Rams. It was all Rams the first quarter, and it's been almost all Rams in the second.
Yeah, again, it started the first quarter, again, up 18-zip. They expound upon that. Again, you're not going to obviously outscore 18-zip every quarter. I know, maybe some Manuel fans say, hey, it could be possible. You know what? It very well might be. But, Manuel outscored Williamsville 14-9 in that second. And how about Jaquan Brown, Caden? I mean, he is underrated MVP so far this game for Manuel. Some phenomenal cuts there. Postleway just drove in. Williamsville crashed. And when they crashed, Jaquan Brown has been open almost every single time on the baseline. He's been feasting. He's got 8 points that's tied for a team high with Richardson after the first half.
Well, not only is he tied for the team high, he only averages 6.3 a game. And so the junior is really getting his number out there today early. I mean, he came off the bench as well, John, and he's made that big impact already. We want to thank Jody Brown from State Farm in Peoria. If you're looking for any real estate needs, Jody Brown is the person to call. You can reach her at 309-693-1103. We'll take a quick breather here at halftime, but we'll be back shortly, so stay here. It's free coverage on ClutchSportsIL.com. I'm Caden Sexton. Alongside me, Jonathan Michael. Stay tuned for after the break for more basketball.
We are the NFHS. That stands for the National Federation of State High School Associations. But really, what we stand for, together with the IHSA, are the 333,000 high school sports and performing arts students in Illinois. And so, we stand. We stand for the runners, debate team members, and basketball players. We stand for their coaches, officials, and adjudicators. We stand for the drummers, football players, and actors. We stand for the golfers, singers, and swimmers. We stand as the national leader and advocate for these essential activities and all who participate in them and make them possible. Because it is our purpose to ensure that high school students get to play, perform, and compete together. To learn more about who we are and what we stand for, visit nfhs.org.
Are you an enthusiastic sports fan? Want to have fun and get in on the action?
Heck, yes. That'd be awesome.
Have great attention to detail? Want to stay active?
Definitely.
Want to give back to the student athletes in your community?
Obviously, yes.
Then you'd make an excellent high school sports official. We need more officials in Illinois. Because with no high school officials, there are no high school sports. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
Welcome back to Springfield, Illinois. I'm Caden Sexton, alongside me, Jonathan Michael. We are here in Super Sectional territory. It's the Class 2A Super Sectional. Winner of this goes to play for state, a guaranteed top 4 team. Williamsville was there last year and got 4th. Manuel has not been there since 2019 and would like to get the berth. John, before we get talking more about this game as well as some others, I want to thank Jody Brown one more time, one of the best insurance agents in the Peoria area. Home life, she's got everything. Give her a call at State Farm 309-693-1103. If you're looking for any insurance needs, she can help you out.
Most definitely. I want to thank Jody again for sponsoring tonight's coverage. Glad we could be here again. Unfortunately, again, no video coverage because of the, we'll say the dreaded 4 letters NFHS Network. But again, we're glad to be here and providing free live audio coverage. Glad you're tuning in. And if you're a Manuel fan, which I assume most of our listeners probably are, you're probably pretty happy right now with a 32-9 lead, and get 4 players with 6 or more points. Postal Wade and Page have 6. Richardson and Brown both have 8. Humbles has 4. So, but a little bit of everything for Manuel. But again, 18-0 at the end of the first quarter. Emmanuel's favor, in case you're just tuning in, has been all Rams so far, and there are a lot of stunned Bullets fans here in the building. Everywhere you look, they're just kind of like, wow. There's that kind of look on their face that they just were not expecting this. Again, a team that was dominant all season long, 31-3, and they are running into one of the best that Peoria has to offer.
Right, and as we mentioned, as we were having a conversation pregame, John, both these schools have been in and out of top 5 rankings in Class 2A throughout the season. But I mean, get this, going into tonight, Peoria Manuel was ranked number 8 and Williamsville ranked number 7. When you have 2 teams ranked 1 apart from each other, this is not what you expect to be happening on the floor, let alone the team with the lower ranking coming out and showing up like that first half Manuel had.
Well, I was trying to tell people, other people that work in media across the state during the year, I try to tell them, hey, this Manuel team is very good despite the amount of losses they have. And many of these losses for Manuel came by just 2, 3, 4 points. I mean, they had 7 losses in a row where I believe almost all of them were by single digits against some very, very good teams. So Manuel is only a couple possessions away from having the beautiful record that everyone likes to see initially. You see Manuel's 21-12, and again, you may think it doesn't jump off the page, but I'm trying to tell people, hey, even though Manuel's got double-digit losses, they are probably better than some of these other teams because of who they face, and they're showing it here tonight. And again, 32-9. A lot of Rams fans here happy. I see Sir James here for Manuel. I bet he's having a great time. One of Manuel's most treasured fans in his wheelchair coming down to Springfield. Always good to see him. And a lot of good Manuel fans here at Orange and Black. Hoping to see something they haven't seen in 6 years, and that's going back down to state. But Caden, they're not the only team that is hoping to get back to state from Peoria. There's 2 others going for state berths here tonight with Peoria Christian and Peoria High as well.
Yeah, and again, one of those games we will also be giving you live audio coverage on, so stay tuned after this one. And
7 p.m., clutchsportsisle.com. Michael Savoy and Gavin Russell will have the call. Live audio coverage between Peoria High and Brother Rice. So you can also listen to that one, too. That one's in Pontiac.
Yeah, and I mean, another great game. Me and you called a Peoria High game last week, actually. It was Peoria High and LaSalle, Peru, when the Lions got the win to go play Metamora for the sectional game. You stayed along for that ride. I was unable to, but, one more task. And it's one task at a time for a team, and Peoria High's got one more tonight in Brother Rice.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough one. I would say of all the Peoria teams playing tonight, Peoria High is the toughest opponent. So, but I'm really curious to see what LaShawn Stowers and a great group of Peoria High freshmen can do. They were really impressive against Metamora. I mean, they won that Washington sectional, which was one of the toughest in the entire state because you had Morton, you had Kankakee in there, and you had Metamora and all those teams. And it was, in the end, it was Peoria High. I mean, what a phenomenal year for basketball, just for the city. Richwoods, even though they didn't make it deep in the postseason, had a good run. They gave the Lions a run for their money in the regional title game back in East Peoria a couple weeks ago. So it really just all the Peoria public schools just collectively so strong this year. There's been some years where there's been one team that's been far and away the favorite. Last year Richwoods was far and beyond the number one team. But this year, Peoria and Manuel have definitely been the two leaders, but all three have just been phenomenal. It's just so encouraging to see for the River City, which, again, I said this on Twitter a couple days ago. There is no better city for basketball outside of Chicago than Peoria, and I'll stand by that all the time. I mean, it's better than Springfield, Decatur, Champaign, Metro East, down by St. Louis area, doesn't matter. All the talent that you will see in Peoria matches hardly anyone. And so we are seeing what it's doing here today, and we're seeing when a battle-tested Rams team that faced a very good slate in the Big 12 in the Peoria area has, we get to see that come to fruition and put up a dominant statement in the first half against Williamsville.
Well, with 2:10, again, tune in at 7 o'clock or just once this game is over, whichever you'd prefer, to that Peoria High.
You can listen to both simultaneously if you want.
But, let's get back to the game in front of the two of us. Williamsville out here to shoot a little bit earlier. They've got a tall task ahead of them. They've got to start playing some defense against this Manuel team. I mean, this Manuel team, we'll set the table real quick for you. They've won their last 8. They not only won their last 8 games in a row, they just came off their 8th regional title in a row. They've got 42 regional wins. They just got their 8th a few weeks ago. They just won the sectional against Sherrard 62-49. And now they've got to go battle up against this Williams team, and they got to just hold their ground. Williamsville, they've got a tall task ahead of them. They're on a 6-game winning streak. They've only had 3 losses all year. They've had an incredible season, but all that ends without a state trip if they don't pull off this comeback.
Yeah, definitely. And again, you guys got to look at the seniors. I kind of look at it as almost like the Kankakee Metamora game that we did last week. Metamora is down 12 in the fourth quarter. Who'd they rely on to come back? Their seniors. And so for Williamsville, that's got to be Blake Shuffler, your leading scorer. It's got to be Carson Duran, your second leading scorer. It's got to be Braden Saling, their third leading scorer. So this Williamsville team, again, has gotten here because of their seniors, and they're going to need all 3 of them to step up. All 3 of them average double figures per game. It was a little bit of a rough start to them shooting the ball in that first half. Maybe we'll see, maybe even just a flip of the court, maybe a flip of the baskets, maybe, flips the script for them. We'll see. But that's easier said than done against this Manuel defense.
Well, the Williamsville student section going to help out quickly, and it's a drive from the corner. Basket's good. It's for Humbles, his 6th point of the evening. He starts things off quickly for Manuel out of the half.
A 25-point leader right now, Caden, and it's crazy to say this right after halftime, but again, if Williamsville doesn't make a dent, we're going to be looking at running clock here in the fourth quarter, which
in a super sectional game, we didn't think we'd hear that.
Yeah, I'd be hard-pressed to see any other super sectional game across the state tonight have a running clock.
Richardson in the paint for 2. Again, he got the rebound, walked all the way down, faced a tiny bit of contact, but nonetheless puts it up with ease.
Just too aggressive, too fast, too big. Dieter Richardson is just, again, he's been a man amongst boys this postseason, and we really saw that against Macomb especially. You're seeing it here tonight. Sherrard, even though the scoring numbers maybe weren't there, just had 10. Very impressive. Again, top 150 recruit in the country, and maybe not that it really matters. He's already committed to Bradley, but maybe boosting his stock a bit.
Putback is good for Jackson Sanders. That's his first bucket of the night. Richardson on that last basket gets himself into double figures, but it's not been needed with 4 players getting 6 or more for the Rams in the first frame.
Yeah, and the Rams have 6 players that average 7 or more a game. That's 6. That's not just your starting 5, but that's also a guy on your bench too. And again, Jaquan Brown has been phenomenal. He is not on the floor right now, but I'm sure that he'll get some big minutes down the stretch. Tony Bradford, Caden Latta as well. There are 5 on the floor. Richardson, Humbles, Page, Postlewaite, and Breedlove, who's back on the floor after having 2 fouls back in the first half.
That ball was nearly tipped away by Sanders, but it was Breedlove who held onto it. We didn't see him since 2 minutes left in the first quarter due to those 2 fouls, but he's now back on the floor. It's Page. He wanted to drive, but he's met by 2 men wearing white, and he travels it. He doesn't like the call, but nonetheless, it's Bullet basketball.
Yeah, Page just kind of got stuck in some traffic right there. A lot of white jerseys in the area. It's tough really to see over from our angle, but again, just a lot of white jerseys in the area, but Manuel, you just get right back, and active hands on defense, nearly forcing a tipped pass and over and back.
It's Duran in the paint, and Carson Duran gets his 7th point of the evening and continues to be kind of the motor of this offense for the Bullets, a motor that needs to start kicking into another gear.
Yeah, and Williamsville needs to start making some sort of move here soon. Again, you're down 23. Well, they almost take it away there. They do.
And Richardson takes it back. It was Reed Bodine who had it on the ground.
Yeah, he was laid on the floor and tried to complete a pass, but it's obviously hard to do when you're horizontal to the ground.
Yeah,
so Richardson just read it like a book.
Yeah, he was just Bodine lying on the ground. Richardson said, okay, you took it from me, I'll just take it right back from you. Now Richardson's got it. He's at the top of the key. He starts his drive, kicks out, 3-ball for Humbles, and it's off the front of the iron. Rebound by the Bullets.
Yeah, Humbles teed that one up, was in a rhythm 3 there. Just, again, a rare miss from behind the arc for Manuel, who I would estimate probably is about at least 25 of their 36 points inside the paint, Caden.
You'd be right about that. They've been going in down low and have been having success. And it was Saline who kind of got tripped there, and it's going to be a walk-in for Breedlove. He tried to dunk and he misses. Second chance, Setford misses again. Third chance, misses. Fourth chance, he's in off the glass.
Oh,
Breedlove with his 4th opportunity, but he gets the bucket.
Oh, man. Breedlove tried to pull out the show-stopping rim rattler there and just kind of spun off the rim. And again, he is so lengthy at 6'5", just out jumping everybody. It seemed like a pogo stick, just up and down, back in the air. Williamsville gets a bucket on the other end to counter, but how about, again, the length there from Breedlove getting his first score of the game.
Wasn't sure who scored that basket, but nonetheless, it's Richardson down low with contact, and he gets another 2. He's up to 12.
Yeah, Richardson just kind of hung in the air there. Again, good contest there. I believe it may have been from Saline there, but Richardson able to hang up there and just kiss it off the glass.
And contact there. It's a push on Breedlove. That's his 3rd foul, and it'll be interesting to see how Marvin Jordan wants to handle this. But, you know, Carson Duran, he lost the dribble on his own, and then Breedlove kind of pushed him trying to go for that ball, and he does go out. It's Howard back in. Oh, sorry, Bradford.
Yep, Bradford back in. So again, Bradford a really key piece. He kind of be like Jaquan Brown sometimes. You know, come in and score 8 to 10 off the bench. You know, got good feel for the game and a good distributor at point guard. Also score as well. I mean, 6'3" point guards are hard to come by. Emmanuel's got one of them.
Back down into the paint, it was Garrett Tim, and now it's stolen by Saline. Saline into the corner for Scheffler. Scheffler's 3, and it's good. That's the second 3 for Scheffler. And you know, they're inching back into this one. They're not out of it, John. They're not cool. They're not really knocking on the door, but they are getting back towards it.
Yeah, I mean, again, still 22. You got to really just get some turnovers. Got to start taking some risks on defense. Start trapping. Start double teaming. And active hands there. And it's the offensive foul on post away, so that will help the Bullets' cause. But again, it's a little bit tougher to do in high school because, again, there is no shot clock. But again, if you can keep on getting the ball back, getting some turnovers, forcing some missed shots, draining some threes, you can make this maybe about, 12, 13-point game going into the fourth quarter, rather, if you can play almost a perfect 2.5 minutes here for Williamsville.
Right, in Williamsville, they've been able to play a lot stronger of a defense, but Manuel's counteracting that by just taking longer on offense. And again, without a shot clock, taking these long offensive possessions is only going to help. And now it means Williamsville has to work faster on offense. Their shot there tipped away, and it's no basket was even close to that rim, but ball stays with the Bullets last touched by black jersey.
Yeah, Richardson blocked that out of bounds. And he's kind of had his way in the paint. Williamsville's forwards, Reed Bodine and Jackson Sanders, neither one of them are really big scorers. And Richardson and Page have almost completely eliminated them from having any impact on this one. Bodine is scoreless and Sanders just has 2 points.
Yeah, Tony Bradford with the foul, so that's the 5th.
Third. That 5 timeouts.
Oh, sorry, timeouts.
3 fouls.
Was one column over looking straight up. The scoreboard's right above our heads. That basket's good for Carson Duran.
And Duran's been the main guy for Williamsville. He's got 9 of their 20 points. Aaron is sailing, I think, to start picking it up. He, again, averages 12 a game, is scoreless so far.
It's Richardson, his first 3 attempted, and it rattles off the front of the iron. Rebound by the Bullets.
Another good rebound work there from Williamsville. Lotta came in trying to get that OR and just didn't quite.
Corner 3 right in front of us. It's Garrett Tim. It rattled around, and it's rebounded by the Rams. Caden Latta in transition. He gets it. And
what a pass.
Richardson.
No
Richardson
look.
through 3. No look shot is good for him.
Unbelievable pass there to find Richardson. He was cutting baseline, had trouble bringing it in, and just kind of ripped it away from the Bullet and laid it up and in. Again, he has just been unguardable near the paint tonight.
Basket good for Blake Shuffler on the other end. But back to that last play by Richardson. 3 bodies hit him on the way to that shot. And he still put one up, still put up a perfect shot. And obviously it went in as we know. A foul is on the floor. It's going to be for Manuel.
It's on Williamsville, still Manuel ball, but again, Richardson, not just a D1 player, but he's also a D1 body too as well. Again, 6'7", again, very strong. He can really play a variety of positions. He probably fits mainly as a 3 as they get an easy layup there from Humbles, at the next level. But again, such a versatile guy, and once he suits up in a Braves uniform, I think we'll see him play again a variety of different positions.
Brian Wardle knows how to use his guys well and move them around into different spots. Has an aggressive Manuel defense, and they call push. And a lot of kind of confusion on that one as Tony Bradford's arms were stretched wide, trying to show off his wingspan there, and he got called on a push. I'm guessing it's from the chest, John?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm a little confused on that one again. It didn't really look like a push. He didn't push him with his arms because they were just outstretched.
As Richardson stands tall, forces 2 misses, but when the board went the other way, Garrett Tim got his first bucket from the floor.
And Williamsville doing a nice job again, not saying die. They're playing the hardest I've seen them play so far today. But again, it's that first quarter that has made all the difference. The 18-0 hole is almost entirely solely responsible for this deficit that they're in right now.
Great passing from the Rams, and Bradford drove and doesn't get a call. There's half a second left, and they didn't even try a shot. They tried to feed it into the paint, but the Rams were guarding the half-court shot and couldn't get it past half-court until time ran out. We've got 8 more minutes and a 20-point lead for the Manuel Rams, John. I want to thank our partner, Jody Brown, once more for all your real estate needs, home, auto, life. Call Jody Brown Agency. It's 309-693-1103 at the State Farm office in Peoria, Illinois. As the Williamsville cheerleaders take the floor for the first time, they're out on the floor. John, what do you kind of envision this last 8 minutes? I'll put it pretty open for you.
Yeah, Manuel, again, I think they don't need to force anything. Long possession on the offense. Don't hold the ball. Don't pull a Puckatonica Eastland. Obviously, I don't know if any of you heard about or saw about that sectional title game where they just held the ball for the entire quarter, and it was 1-0 after the first, but in a match between 2 state-ranked 1A teams. That was, obviously not what people wanted to see, but again, Manuel will pass the ball around. They'll play their game. They'll get some good open looks, and they can have a patient offense and still have possession that only last 10 to 15 seconds because they've had so many open cutters around the paint so far tonight. But again, just good passes. No need to, do anything fancy. To play intense defense, get a couple points in transition. As long as you even just score a couple points, that probably is enough to put you into Thursday's state semifinal down in Champaign.
Williamsville gets the ball first. And it's Shuffler in the paint. He gets a contested shot, and Richardson gets it after it hits nothing. One note, John, as we make the transition, the Rams still have not connected on a 3-ball. 3 made so far for the Bullets, as that basket's good for Caden Latta, his first bucket of the evening.
Yeah, nice little drive there, kind of scooped it up with the left hand.
Shuffler there, hits everything but doesn't go down. And now it's Richardson in transition. He's not contested and he slams one in. Wasn't really a slam dunk, but a dunk nonetheless. Timeout quickly called by Nick Beard after that 4-0 start in the fourth quarter
and
for the
the
Rams.
Manuel sideline just loves that. I mean, the assistant coaches are fired up. Marvin Jordan's fired up. Oh, how about Marvin Jordan looking dapper as usual tonight? Got kind of a navy, or kind of light blue navy looking suit, orange bow tie. Always one of the best dressed coaches in the area. Always love seeing, again, coaches that, old-fashioned, that used, a lot of the coaches back in the day used to wear suits and ties, and Marvin Jordan still does that, kind of bucking the recent trend as of late. I bet he is a very happy man right now. Great start to the fourth quarter, and again, just a couple more minutes, and Manuel can probably maybe afford to put some substitutions in to take this one home. But Caden, as we look ahead, winner of this game would face the winner of Chicago Diet and Bismarck Henning Rossville Alvin. That's at the Joliet Central Super Sectional. That one hasn't tipped off yet. Starts at 7 p.m. We might even be done by 7 p.m.
No, and I mean, instead of watching that one, you should stay on CSM, Clutch Sports Media, and you should watch Peoria High and Brother Rice. But that is one to keep note of if you're a Manuel fan, because, I mean, unless if something miraculous happens in the last 7-14, that's going to be the future Manuel opponent. Going back to the suits, a very dapper. I really love that spiffy orange dye over there.
Yeah, it
from
just stands
Marvin
out.
Jordan.
I mean,
it does.
We're sitting across the way from that thing's like almost shining brighter than the sun, it feels like. I mean, it just really stands out. And Marvin Jordan getting it done with style points and also getting it done with his coaching too.
It's great press from the Rams, but once
blocked
it's broken,
by Latta. What a block there from Latta.
Into the paint,
wow.
It's Terrence Page. He's got his first bucket of the second half, but that came with ease. Here in transition, it's blocked by
Page. He let out a scream for that one. Manuel's playing all kinds of fired up right now.
I mean, they're playing physical and they're playing quick.
Yeah, I mean, on both sides of the ball too. I mean, there was the block from Latta, there was a block from Page, there was that great layup. I believe it was, I think it was Page on the other end, just speeding right in. Manuel's just too fast.
And that one is tipped away by Reggie Postlethwaite. He came from behind, and just picked that one off. And now he gets it to his teammate in Richardson. They're going to slow things down.
Caden, I got a question for you here. As Richardson feeding Page, he puts this one up, no good. Say Postlethwaite picking pockets 3 times fast.
Yeah,
that's what he's been doing all night.
He's been doing it all night, but I don't want to say it 3 times fast. So Shuffler into the paint. He hits the back of the iron. Shuffler continues to put up great shots that just don't drop in. It's not that it's unlucky. It's just the hair missing the net.
Yeah, Williamsville had some good looks early on. Again, they didn't have a field goal, didn't have a point after one quarter. Tim tried to get the follow, but Manuel there for the offensive glass. Again, the rebounding, we haven't really talked about rebounding, Kate. Manuel hasn't really allowed hardly any second chance opportunities for Williamsville. Meanwhile, they're getting even fourth chance opportunities like we saw in that one of those buckets from Breedlove earlier.
And Richardson gets back into the paint and puts up another bucket. He just walked right in, and with his size was able to get an uncontested shot. The press is back on, and it's a quick 3 for Shuffler off the front of the iron this time. And the Rams are going to go back in transition. Yeah,
and how about this performance, Caden? I mean, again, Williamsville had definitely the crowd advantage tonight. Again, they're just up the road here, essentially, from the bank of Springfield Center. And they bring a lot of fans in purple, and Manuel has just sucked the energy out of this gym. Aside from the Manuel side, though, obviously they're all hyped up because of what they're seeing. They've had plenty to cheer about, but I mean, well over half of this gym is just dead silent right now, just almost stunned at what the dominance of this Manuel Rams team.
And now the Rams really just passing it around, trying to kill as much time as they can. They're not going to do the hold the ball method like we saw with Caneland, but now they drive. Instead, they kick out. Yeah, you know, they're just going to try and tick this clock down a little bit for us. So.
Yeah, Pulsewade's going to just kind of step it out, and I think at this point, I think it's almost pretty much in hand for Manuel again, and really a big portion of what they did tonight was in the first quarter, but they have expanded upon their lead. In the second, they did it in the third as they get turns it over.
Bad dribbling by Page allows Carson Duran to walk down for 2, and they aren't going to really, they're threatening a press, but they're not going to try a press, which surprises me, John, unless if you're just.
I mean, you're down 26 with 4 minutes to go, and with no shot clock in the IHSA, I mean, Williamsville can.
Yeah, but they are trying for a foul now, but instead Manuel's doing a great job passing around until they foul the best player on the floor, in Dietrich Richardson.
Yeah, and Richardson might be coming out here. We'll see. Again, you're up by 26, and you got a state semifinal. You're probably going to be playing on Thursday, so well-deserved rest as Page, Postaway, Richardson come out. And how about this? Williamsville, seniors, or Garrett Tim coming off the bench, he gets a hand, but I thought for a second they were clapping for the Manuel seniors checking out. I was like, wow, that's some pretty good sportsmanship. And then I saw Tim checking out as well for Williamsville. But again, at this point, I think it's just kind of rest up. Don't overexert yourself. No need for any silly injuries at this point of the game. You want to be healthy. You want to be full ready to go when you get down to Champaign. And again, Manuel, as long as they hang on, they will play at. We'll bring you the time here so the Manuel fans can make their plans, and we can make our plans as well on ClutchSportsIL.com. We plan to be down in Champaign for live audio coverage and coverage on CSM Overtime. Manuel would play at 3:45 on Thursday, again, against the winner of Diet and BHRA.
3-ball good for Braden Saling. The senior normally averages 12.3 a night. He just got his first bucket in his final game. As it's going to look like in a high school basketball jersey.
Yeah, again, hats off to these Williamsville seniors. This is definitely not how they envisioned their career ending. In a game like this, at a really cool arena. This is kind of the big stage for the teams out in Springfield. Again, really nice arena as Marvin Jordan calls timeout. Probably get some subs in here with 2:48 to go. But again, not the way you want to end your career. But again, hats off Williamsville. This is our first time seeing them, but I followed them from a distance this year, and I knew they were a very dangerous team. They just ran into a buzzsaw, and no one wanted to face Manuel in the postseason. Williamsville was just the unlucky squad to do it, but definitely a team that, if they didn't face Manuel, I think they would have been capable of making their second straight state berth.
Yeah, Williamsville, they took 4th last year, so they knew what it took to get down the road, but instead they faced a Manuel squad. Peoria Manuel's had one heck of a game. They're going to take a breather. They didn't like how that rebounding went. And, 1+, if your Manuel is, you're at least guaranteeing 2 more games and have.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're your seniors, you have to think, all right, this just secured me 2 more times to wear this jersey.
Yeah, most definitely. And that's one of the coolest parts. You talk to all these teams, and they just want to keep on playing with each other. They love being out on the floor. Then these Manuel Rams just eat, breathe, and sleep basketball 24/7, 365. Maybe not Amari Breedlove. He plays a very good football player and got a quarterback for the Rams, got a football offer from Loris. So a couple more multi-sport athletes, but again, basketball is life at Manuel. I mean, really. I mean, to use an old phrase, ball is life, but I mean, it really is at Manuel High School. And this school, this program, and just this city is so proud of this team. And there are going to be a lot of Peoria fans, not even maybe just ones that follow Manuel, but just ones that support and root for the teams from Peoria. They're going to be cheering on the Rams definitely this weekend.
Saline fell down on that shot.
Slipped.
He slipped. He picked the pocket, but unable to get the bucket. And now just another Manuel clock trimming session.
Yeah, but it'll be Tolliver to just kind of run it up top, showing off his dribble moves here. As he's in the game alongside with Humbles, Lotta, Breedlove, and Jaquan Brown, who, again, not going to be Manuel's scoring leader in this one most likely, but I think he had some of those pivotal buckets in the game. That second quarter when Williamsville started to maybe make just a slightest tiny bit of a run, Jaquan Brown was just electric off the bench on both offense and defense.
Dalton Root, the junior, coming in, as well as Caden Entweist, the sophomore. So a little bit of bench moves for Coach Nick Beard. And he's going to take out two of his seniors, Blake Shuffler as well as Carson Duran, the two leading scorers for the Bullets, head to the bench. And now he's going to do a full 5 switch. He's got 3 more moves to make.
Yeah, and that's the proper thing to do, give him the curtain call and let him get the standing ovation. And Williamsville just a little outmatched tonight. The emotions pouring through for them. Again, whether or not you're a Manuel fan or Williamsville fan, you just hate to see high school kids have their careers, and especially in a loss. It means so much to all of them. You see Blake Shuffler, phenomenal player for Williamsville, 8 points tonight. Maybe not as up to his normal average, but again, I had seen what he'd done this season and led him to some big wins. And these Bullets have nothing to hang their head about. And again, they have definitely a strong tradition, and hopefully they can keep it going next year after this senior class that gave so much over the last couple of years.
A lot of tears on the sideline. Putback bucket missed by Johnson. And now we should see some basketball with both benches out there.
Yeah, a little modified, little late season JV game almost for both of these teams.
And it's a 3. It hits the front of the iron for Dalton Root, and foul on the shot, and it stays with the Rams.
Yeah, Rico Booker into the game for Manuel, and a couple other guys too as well. Again, Tolliver, Jaquan Brown's in the game. Jamel Shipp is in the game.
And Williamsville's going to press, and they do force it out, but turnover is going to go to, or last touch by the man who tipped it out. That was Caden Entweist, so stays with Manuel.
Boy, Kate, how about, this is the epitome of a business trip. I mean, we tipped off this game pretty much almost just over an hour ago exactly. We're in the final minute. I mean, this is one of the quickest games I've ever seen. Just at the high school level. I mean, Manuel came down, took care of business, and they're going to be headed home after a convincing win. And the Rams will be going back to state as they just dribble this thing out.
Yeah, they drive now and kick it out, and yep, they just did that to avoid getting the 5-second, just to pass the ball around, avoid any calls. There's a little bit of a press there from Williamsville.
What a historic moment, though, for Manuel. A team that has made so many trips to state. They will add another one as they, again, just dribble it out. Crowd comes to their feet. How about these Rams?
10 seconds left. The cheerleaders trying to get the student section to their feet. They finally are. As we near the end of this game, it'll be the first state berth since 2019 for the Manuel Rams of Peoria. 52-29 in what we thought was going to be a thriller, and it was for one side, as Peoria has clinched their ticket to the Final Four in Class 2A.
Yeah, they earned it flat out. I mean, wonderful game, both sides of the ball. Held a strong Williamsville offense that came in. They averaged about 58 points per game. They only allowed about half of that. I mean, that's just really impressive from this Rams team that, again, continues their streak of holding teams under 50 points in the playoffs. This is now all 5 of their playoff games, teams have not scored 50, and that streak may even reach further back. The last time that team reached 50 was Danville back on February 18th. But again, I think that's really been the key thing for the Rams as they, again, lost those 7 straight games in a row, but have now won 9 straight. They are rolling. They got all the momentum in the world. Just some huge wins for this Rams squad, and they left no doubt here in Springfield tonight as Richardson led the way with 18 points.
Yeah, I mean, Richardson had a day, and now the celebrations begin at center court. They know they've done the mission they set out to do when they entered this building. They get to be one of the last teams to play, and they at least guarantee 2 more games with their teammates. Not a privilege everyone has. Coaches say it all the time once they get around this towards the end of the year. Only only a handful of teams, unless my math is mistaken, only 2 teams in each class get to end as the trophy is now being handed out. Dietrich Richardson has it. Only 2 teams get to end each within each class on a win, and Peoria Manual has the opportunity to do that as they now rush to the student section to
those
celebrate.
students, man. That is always the coolest scene ever, is when they just the players mingle with the students. They raise that super sectional plaque up in the air. I don't know who's got it. They just got to focus on not dropping that. That's about the only thing that could go wrong at this point for Manual. And it's a really cool shared moment with the school as well. Credit to all the students and fans that made the drive down here, a little over an hour down to Springfield. And boy, were they rewarded with a good one. As Caden Lotta, Jaquan Brown hugging and jumping around. What a sight here for this Manual Rams team. They are going to be a problem, a big problem down in Champaign this week, Caden.
Well, and I mean, 5 players that scored 6 or more points, and the player that scored 6 was Reggie Postlethwaite, who's all of his 6 came in the first quarter. I mean,
yeah,
this is a team that has, they have a Bradley commit. They've got a depth, and they've got their stars, and they've got the names that people know, but they've also got depth, and they know that all right, you go and double Dietrich, all right, we've got 2 more guys that are going to light you up. And that's not something that every team that is making postseason runs has, let alone every team in Class 2A, let alone every team in Illinois. Not as many people have depth from 1 to 5,
yeah,
and they've got depth 1 to 6. So.
Yeah, and also even deeper than that. I mean 1 through 10. I mean, there's really hardly any teams that are as complete as Manual, and again, they certainly deserve it. What a win for them. 23 points. We didn't get the running clock, but we got pretty much about as close to it as we could as they celebrate there on the floor.
Yeah, they've got the state champion little trophy, but little poster cardboard cutout there, taking a picture with the cheerleaders, with the coaching staff, with some parents, some loyal fans. And, this isn't just a trophy that head coach has, it's something that they all got.
Most definitely. What a game, what a season, what a team. I want there to take a picture. You just ramble.
It was a great game for Peoria Manual, and again, they haven't been to state since 2019. They've had a season, a lot of people, as John mentioned throughout the broadcast, entering tonight 22-15 record. That's not a record that really screams state contender, but it's because they were so good in all their contests, and they were so good playing teams that were quote-unquote in higher up levels than them. When they play in the Big 12, they're playing 3A, 4A opponents. So that record really doesn't show you who this group is.
Yeah, most definitely. Again, this is only, before the postseason, they only played 2 2A teams. They're both very good. They beat them both. And, this is really almost like a Class 3A or 4A team, at least a team with that 3A, 4A type of talent playing in Class 2A. So, again, I even think Manual could even make it to state in Class 3A, maybe even 4A. I would definitely say that with confidence after their win here tonight. Richardson leading the way with 18. Page, Jaquan Brown with both 8. Postlethwaite with 6. Humboldt had 6. Lotta and Breedlove both had 2. And, again, Williamsville was led by 11 from Carson Duran. But, again, Rams locked up Shuffler. They locked up Saline. Those were 2 key guys for the Bullets.
Shuffler still had 8, but when you average 14 a night, 8 isn't what's going to move you on and advance you to state. A quick shout out to the 3 players who had their final game for Williamsville. It's senior Blake Shuffler, it's Carson Duran, the 2 leading point scorers, as well as Braden Saline. No other seniors on that roster. I'm sorry, the only other senior on that roster is Reed Bodine. So, they have the opportunity to you're losing 4 starters, but you didn't lose your depth. You can still rebuild. You still take lessons from this. And we want to thank one more time Jody Brown from State Farm, Peoria, Illinois. Get her for all your real estate needs at 309-693-1103. She's the reason we had the free audio broadcast for you tonight. And, why wouldn't you go give her a call after getting a listen of this incredible game by me and you, John, from a free broadcast?
Yeah, it's a fun time down here in Springfield, and excited to be back in Champaign as we follow Manual, and also Peoria High should be just tipped off. Again, you can tune in on our website, on our YouTube. For Peoria High against Brother Rice, Michael Savoy, Gavin Russell on the call, and also Peoria Christian down in Class 1, and they're playing not even that far away from us, Caden. They're playing over in Jacksonville against Greenfield tonight, so there's a chance that Peoria could go 3 for 3 in setting teams down to state. So one of the pieces is done. We'll see if the Lions and the Chargers can do so. Will be really fun if Peoria can be that well represented down at state, but they already will be with the Manuel Rams.
Well, it would be very interesting, very fun if 3 Peoria teams represented Class 1, 2, and 3. But we'll have to see what the other 2 end up doing. We've already got our victor in going to 2A state is the Manuel Rams here after getting the 52-29 win over the Williamsville Bullets. I'm Caden Sexton. Alongside me, Jonathan Michael. Thank you for tuning in to free coverage here on Clutch Sports Media. And make sure you tune in to the other game being broadcasted tonight, Peoria High and
Brother Rice.
Yep. That already had tipped off, so make sure you jump over there now. Thanks again for listening. Have a great rest of your night.